A day of unity, honor, remembering the fallen, remembering the brave. CBS2 special coverage, Remembering 9/11, 10 years later.
So many things we'll never forget about that day, and here we are, 10 years later. The World Trade Center site transformed, a stunning national memorial ready to open its doors, and a new World Trade Center that is 80 stories tall and rising. Good evening to you. I'm Christine Johnson.
And welcome, everyone. I'm Maurice Dubois. We are live tonight at the World Trade Center site for a special edition of CBS2 News, Remembering 9/11, 10 years later. It promised to be a very moving weekend in New York City. Rehearsals, you can probably hear behind us, are well underway. They're going on right now in the Trade Center site. In 2 days, New York City will commemorate the day our world was turned upside down.
And we have learned so many lessons from that day, haven't we, Maurice? And a poignant reminder of that tonight, a new terror threat that has put the city on high alert. We begin our coverage tonight with CBS2's Tony Aiello. He is live on the 20th floor of the new World Trade Center. Tony?
Christine, a decade after that terrible day of destruction, take a look. This 16-acre site is filled with a sense of renewal and remembrance. Trees are growing on the Memorial Plaza. Water is flowing where the towers once reached for the sky. But just up the street, a police checkpoint, a sobering reminder. Some wish to revisit hate upon this still wounded city. Your imagination needn't be particularly vivid for this scene to take you back 10 years. A checkpoint on the West Side Highway. Then it led to a gaping wound in Lower Manhattan, where almost 3,000 died when the towers fell. Now, scenes like this are a reminder of our new reality. New York has tried to move on, but the terrorists have not. The city remains their preferred target.
I feel a lot of anxiety. I was on the R train. I started to feel a little nervous. I got off.
Sandy Crawford says the new threat has her flashing back to those anxious days after the terror attack. But many other New Yorkers are taking it in stride.
Of course, it's an inconvenience, but it has to be done.
I'd rather be safe than sorry.
The NYPD response this time, nothing short of immense. Hundreds of trucks checked at points all around the city. License plate readers mounted on patrol cars, sending streams of data to the Counterterrorism Center. Monitors sniffing the air for chemical and biological threats. NYPD trucks equipped with radiation detectors.
We have to think about a dirty bomb where you take radiological material, mix it with conventional explosives.
An area of prime concern, Times Square, where Faisal Shahzad tried to blow up a car 16 months ago. The worry is Al-Qaeda wants to finish that botched job, just as the 1993 bombing that failed to topple the Twin Towers was followed by the 9/11 attacks. A day of destruction leading to a decade of vigilance, where life goes on, but it sure feels different. Back live on the 20th floor of One World Trade Center with a view of New York Harbor. NYPD divers are in the water on patrol, and 2 NYPD quick response teams are positioned outside of Lower Manhattan, ready to respond wherever needed. The city seems to be on near war footing. Yet up here on the 20th floor, we can hear a youth choir practicing for the role it will play during the ceremony on Sunday. And from this vantage point, this place where an act of hate took place a decade ago is at peace tonight. Live at the World Trade Center, Tony Aiello, CBS2 News.
All right, Tony, and that choir, the Brooklyn Youth Chorus, thanks so much for that report.
It's a beautiful and joyful noise to hear on this Friday evening here in the city. From Tony at the new World Trade Center, let's head up now to Joe Bierman in Chopper 2 HD.
He joins us over the GW Bridge. Joe?
Christine, Maurice, we are watching Port Authority police watching you. There are extra set of eyes here up at the George Washington Bridge that have mobilized extra police cars. Moments ago, we watched authorities take one truck out of line for further inspection. Right now, everything is quiet, but just understand, a lot more eyes out there watching you as you come in at the George Washington Bridge. Live in Chopper 2 HD, Joe Bierman, CBS 2 News.
All right, Joe.
Now, New Yorkers are not about to let this threat rob them of a chance to honor their friends, families, and their neighbors.
Yes, of course, the biggest commemoration is planned for this Sunday, but still little remembrances are happening all across the city and the tri-state area. CBS 2's John Slattery has that.
Just blocks from Ground Zero, Secretary of State Hillary Clinton led a group of dignitaries from 10 years ago to observe a moment of silence at the New York Stock Exchange. The moment was to honor the emergency workers, the victims of 9/11, and their families before the opening bell. Also near Ground Zero, a landmark building at Broadway and Fulton features a photo exhibit that will be open to the public through September 18th.
When I look at these pictures, I look at tremendous heroism, and I also am moved by, what the power of what happens when people come together to rebuild a community.
Also in Manhattan, at Midtown's Bryant Park, a typing project to document remembrances and an exhibit of 2,753 empty chairs to honor the victims. Outside a firehouse at 65th and Queens Boulevard, the street was co-named Boulevard of Bravery. The house, Rescue 4, has lost 15 members, 9 of them on 9/11, including Lieutenant Kevin Dowdell. His widow is Rose Ellen.
We miss him, we think about him, we talk about him. He's definitely in the front of our minds and our memory.
Like many other firehouses, this one suffered a heavy loss, and the annual remembrance is a time of stress. In Woodside, Queens, John Slattery, CBS 2 News.
And as we look back 10 years ago, I look out behind us and I think to myself, what a remarkable transformation Ground Zero has undergone. Let's take a live look now at One World Trade Center. It's located over our right shoulder. And although it's getting it built was quite the fight in the early years, construction crews are, as you can see, picking up pace. In fact, right now it towers more than 80 stories above ground.
And take a look at the computer animation of the finished product. When One World Trade Center is complete in 2013, it will stand 1,776 feet in the sky. The skyscraper features an outdoor observation deck at the height of the original North Tower. It has a redundant steel frame, vertical core covered by 2 feet of solid concrete. An illuminated antenna will rise from the center of the building to the 1,776-foot point. That's symbolic heights.
Yes, and of course, this site also includes a permanent memorial, which will be officially dedicated on Sunday for the victims' families.
I had a chance to take an up-close look at this architectural marvel with the man who designed it.
The memorial is just a few short steps from the frenzy of the streets of Lower Manhattan. It could be a world away. 2 one-acre reflecting pools in the exact footprints of the Twin Towers, the water seemingly disappearing into a void in the center. It's the vision of architect Michael Arad.
Why water? Water is, in so many ways, provides comfort here in this space, and it doesn't drown out the sounds of the city, but it does mitigate them a little bit, and it gives you an acoustical envelope that allows you to stand here at the very edge and really sink into deep thought and reflection when you're at the edge here.
Arad's plan beat out some 5,200 others. After much debate over how to arrange the names, his idea prevailed to group them by tower, business, friendship, or requests from the families. You can look up the names online or in the kiosk and find them inscribed onto bronze panels that ring the pools.
The people whose names are inscribed here are like us. They came to work that day. They went to the office buildings here in Lower Manhattan. They were on their way to take, their kids to school. They were on flights across country with their family.
Arad hopes you'll touch the water, touch the panels, find your way to connect. The memorial takes up half the site's 16 acres. 200 of the planned 400 oak trees already make it one of the most eco-friendly plazas you'll ever visit.
I think this is going to be a place where people come to for generations to stand here and pay their respects and see the memorial. But it's also going to be a place where people might come to just by walking out the door of their office building, whether it's this new building across from Greenwich or some of these buildings on the other side of West Street, and sit on a bench like that with a friend and talk for a few minutes. And maybe behind them you'll see some kids that are growing up in this neighborhood, sitting on the grass with their mother, with a caretaker. And to have all of these activities going on side by side, I think will incredibly enrich the experience of visiting this memorial.
The memorial officially opens to the public on Monday. The museum opens next year. And as for the memorial, it's a very, very moving experience. I recommend it. It's something you've got to see for yourself.
Well, you know, one word that comes to mind is peaceful.
Yes.
It's peaceful.
Tranquil,
it
even.
Really is. And I do hope that the victims' families and all of New York and the tri-state area, everyone affected by this, will find some peace and solace when they visit there.
You bet.
That's the goal. All right, we've still got much more to come tonight.
Including my one-on-one with Mayor Bloomberg on how this rebuilding of this hallowed place has been anything but easy.
Also, the rebirth of Ground Zero as it happens. Amazing time-lapse video from shortly after the attacks to the present day. Meet the man behind the lens. Plus this.
As for the firefighters that we knew who had passed, we stopped counting after 100 that we knew.
He was just a kindergartner on 9/11, and now he's turning his memories of that day into something for all children.